Carlo, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Carlo, you have a really interesting background, and a lot of the fans aren't all that familiar with it, especially being somebody that's been in the game for a while because you started at a really young age.
Right.
And
yeah, that's something I'm wanting to change. Hopefully soon I can change that, and get a little more exposure.
Well, that's good. We all know you bring it every time. But coming from Brazil as your youth and then moving to the States, has that affected the way you came up through mixed martial arts at all?
Yes and no. I mean, it's affected my outlook in that, I try to keep a broad spectrum, a wide perspective of the things that I need to train, the people I need to train with, and but at the same time, I guess it could have been a little bit, counterproductive at times to where, I didn't really settle roots anywhere and settle down with any one camp, but there's plus sides and negative sides to that, but I'm very thankful. God's blessed me. I'm incredibly healthy and still young. I've got a lot of experience, like you said, but I just feel like right now I'm coming to a head in my career where I'm going to be able to show people what they deserve to see, which is my full potential.
That's good. That's really exciting. I'm definitely excited, and I know you're a fun-loving guy. I'm looking at the Strikeforce pictures that they send out, the promotional pictures, and you're hitting the bag with what looks like to be a dangerous chop here.
Yeah, man, watch out, Travers. I might just hit you with that. Might hit you with the back, kumite slap. That'll wake him up, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, man, that would be awesome if you pulled that out.
I know, wouldn't it?
It would.
No, it would be amazing.
Surpassed only by the double foot drop kick. That would be unbelievable, I'm telling you.
Where did you learn that? Was that when you were in Thailand with Sit Yo Tong, or is that here at Thug Jitsu? Where did you learn the double leg drop kick?
No, I've got to just tell you, I'm a big, big fan of, well, I'll just go ahead and go on the line and say I like Chapo Guerrero. Okay, I like him. I like his style of pro wrestling. He's a great lucha libre artist. So, that I think there's something to the wrestling slap. I think that in MMA there needs to be more just open hand chest slaps. That'll really do something to somebody, It'll really let them know that you're in a fight, man. This is an open-handed man, or a open-handed man slap on your chest, man.
It's kind of like that's like old Pancrase or Sakuraba.
Exactly, dude.
Wow, like if you can do it, man, like that would just be epic.
Hey, I look forward to trying, that's for sure, man. Brian Travers is no joke. All joking aside, I take every opponent seriously. I love the sport, and I respect everybody in it too much to fuck around too much. But, I always try to have a lot of fun and keep things light, man. That's just my personality.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My name is Ryan Ventura, Carlo.
Hi, Ryan.
I wanted to know, how did you get hooked up with Yves Edwards, man?
Man, honestly, I saw him fight Matt Serra, and I saw him fight Kyle Luno and in the UFC. And at that time, I had just got back from Thailand, and I was training in Brazil. I had been training for a while, trying to get fights down there. And this was in 2001. Well, yeah, in 2001. And I was in Brazil, and I had graduated high school a year at, and so I was sort of on the fence. What am I going to do? Am I going to go to college? What do I want to do? And I went to Thailand with my college money, so that was out the window. And so I was like, you know what, man, just go and train with that guy, because I always, I loved the couple of fights I'd seen him fight with Serra and Uno. And I basically just showed up at a gym one day in the Woodlands, and I was like, hey, man, I know who you are. And he looked at me, he squinted at me, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, you're a tough guy. All right, come by, and put on these 16-ounce gloves and let's move around a little bit. And I guess he liked what he saw. I tried to give him as much work as I could at the time, and he really took me in under his wing, man. He showed me an incredible amount of the things that I use to this day. I mean, he really I look up to him so much. It's you know, he really is. He's my idol in the sport, man. I'll always consider Yves Edwards as my idol in the sport. You know, he introduced me to Thug Jitsu, man.
Awesome.
Carlo, you went through something in one night that many people do not wish on their worst enemy. And going through 3 rounds of the Grand Prix at Shine Fights in September. What was that like?
You know, honestly, man, it wasn't that sinister. It was a lot of fun, actually, man. We were having fun. I felt that night like, you know, I'd done a lot of training for that. It was a whole year of frustration for me. I had a fight canceled for me in February, a fight canceled in March, then one canceled on me in like May, and then I got one in Canada, and then the guy ended up signing, you know, with a rival organization, and that canceled, and so I was like, man, 4 cancellations, damn, am I going to fight this year? You know, wow, you know, and my management came at me and they're like, look, you know, think outside the box. I got this thing. It's coming up. And, you know, it's sort of a shady promotion, but, you know, if you go with it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do it, you know. So they flew me out. We shot the promo. And after that, I was like, yeah, this could be something, you know. And so I dedicated about, you know, a month and a half, 2 months of good training to that. And, man, honestly, I just had fun that night. It was a culmination. I wish I would have won it. I wish I would have fucking beat Fickett. I mean, I like him and I respect him as a fighter. He's a great guy, you know. We get along, we talk and stuff, but I really would have loved to beat his ass and hand him back that loss that he had handed me several years before, but oh well, man, you know, it is what it is. He was a bigger man that night. He came in extremely convicted of what he was going to do that night, and he executed all 3 fights. I had a tough fight right off the bat with Cleat, and then Charlie Brown, I'd never heard of that guy and never seen him even move around or anything, and you know, and I got to fight him. He was super tough, and then got Drew, and he seemed really fresh right as soon as we tanked up, man. I knew something was up, and it was just a good night, though, man. And I felt like I was doing something that was going to be remembered, you know. It was fun. I think everybody that night knew that it was sort of a special night. It felt underground, and that's what I'm into. I'm into doing the shit that, you know, people are like, what the hell are you thinking? I like doing stuff like that. I don't know why. It's just part of my personality.